It's the second of 10 appointments for the defending national champs at their downtown office. Welcome to Big East Basketball, presented by PNC. Today we are at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut, where Coppin State visits 4th-ranked UConn. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi, along with Ron Perry, the leading scorer in Holy Cross history. Thanks so much for beginning your Sunday with us. UConn has followed up its third national championship with a 3-0 start. But, Ron, the Huskies will not be playing quite at 100% today.
That's right. Jeremy Lamb is going to give it a go and start in the backcourt for UConn. He sprained his right ankle in practice yesterday, leads the team in scoring. We'll see how he feels early because he's clearly UConn's go-to guy this year.
On the flip side, help is on the way. UConn, much anticipated debut for highly regarded freshman Ryan Boatwright will be this Saturday in the Bahamas, with word on Friday that the NCAA is determined he has to serve a 6-game suspension.
That's right. Well, looking forward to having Boatwright in the lineup. It's not too far away now. Very quick. He'll fit right in with the backcourt rotation. Really goes by people with that quickness on the court.
It's time for our one-on-one. And Ron, what storyline for both teams will you be focusing on today?
I think it's the backcourt. And I think for Coppin State to be upset-minded, their guards really need to play well. Led by Tony Gallo, had a great game against Oklahoma, averages better than 20 a game. And Shabazz Napier just continuing to play well from his point guard slot. He's scoring, and if Lamb is hurting, he'll need to really step it up.
Jim Calhoun's Huskies are always a tough out, but particularly at home. They've won 36 straight home games against non-conference opponents. The opening tip is next. Today's Big East game is brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. Bob Picozzi and Ron Perry back in Hartford, all set for the 5th meeting between Coppin State of the Mideastern Athletic Conference and the UConn Huskies. Time to check out the starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Baltimore, Hakeem Ellis is 9th in the MEAC in assists. Logan Weens is 9th in the conference in 3-point field goals. And for UConn, freshman DeAndre Daniels had a career-high 15 points in Thursday night's win over Maine. And in the same game, Tyler Olander continuing his outstanding play early in the season. He had his first career double with 11 points and 10 rebounds. Coppin State is coached by Ron Fang Mitchell. In his 26th year, 4 wins away from the 400-win milestone. He's the winningest coach in Eagles history. And his counterpart, Jim Calhoun, the 6th winningest coach in college basketball history. And last April, he won his 3rd national championship, all with the Huskies. So we'll keep our eye, Ron, on the right ankle of Jeremy Lamb. He did very little in the pregame shoot-around with the Huskies and did some individual straight-ahead running, but it didn't look like he was moving all that well. No,
he's really moving kind of gingerly on that leg. Let's see how he gets into it early in the ball game. Niels Giffey could come in for him, and it's a UConn lineup that is very strong in the front court, and I look for them to really pound the backboards today against Coppin State.
Alex Oriaki will be jumping center with Logan Weens. Brian O'Connell will toss the ball up between them. Coppin State 1-2, the Huskies 3-0, and we're underway in Hartford. Number 11, Tariq Cephas, getting his first start of the year for Coppin State, and he has the initial man-to-man assignment on Shabazz Napier.
Straight up man-to-man by Coppin State. They've got to box out against the much taller and longer UConn lineup.
Olander tried to get it inside. It was kicked. Shot clock will stay right where it's at 17. These two teams have met 4 times previously, all 4 in this building. UConn's won them all, including a 76-64 decision a year ago. Here's Lamb. Handoff to Napier. Now the shot clock's at 10.
Zone this time on the inbounds by Coppin State. 2-3. Got a box out.
Lamb with the miss. He was 0 for 5 from 3-point range in Thursday's loss against Maine.
Averaging better than 20 a game, but you could see even on that shot, Bob, he did not get the up off the ground on that one. You can tell he's limping a bit out there.
Weens picked up by Olander. Cephas with Lamb trying to follow him around a screen, and the first turnover of the day for Coppin State.
Yeah, Coppin State will have to take good care of the ball. Their strength is in the backcourt. We'll see Michael Harper off the bench. Their top 3 scorers are all backcourt people. And for Connecticut, look for them to try to dump it inside and then bang the backboards.
Napier looking down low, can't find anyone. Instead up top, Olander. Napier guarded by Cephas. Oriaki sets the high screen, now rolls to the hoop. Oriaki wants it down low and gets it, turns toward the middle. Missed badly. Rebounded by 23, Akeem Ellis.
Looks like he could have almost taken one more bounce and stuffed that one.
Gallo for 3. Long rebound to Oriaki. He had 8 of them in Thursday's win over Maine.
Gallo coming off a 22-point game against Oklahoma.
Olander from the foul line. Long rebound on a hop. Scramble. Olander out hustles everyone. And we will get a held ball. The possession arrow will turn it over to Coppin State. Olander looked like he was trying to get a timeout.
He was calling for one, but the ball was tied up. I think the official did a good job there to go with the jump ball situation.
There you see Olander's early season numbers. He is vastly improved over the freshman we saw last year.
Coming off a double-double against Maine, playing with more confidence. And I think that face-up 15-footer is going to be valuable for UConn this year.
Weens tries to knock down the 3. Oriaki with his 2nd rebound of the game. Napier pushing the pace, goes right around 2 players, and Antonio Williams with the rebound.
A couple of good looks for UConn, just not cashing in the early going.
We've played 2+ minutes and neither team has scored. Gallo on the blow-by goes around Olander. Cephas can't knock it down. Rebound on a hop to Ellis. Weens back up top to Gallo. Let's see if he tries to take Lamb off the bounce. Isn't that what you would do if a guy with a bad ankle was guarding you?
Try to test it. See if he can make that quick cutting action. Not really done that time by Gallo. Yeah, try to push it and see if he can react.
Ellis on the drive. First points of the game. It took 2:42 to get them. UConn fans don't sit down until the Huskies score their first points each half. They might be getting a little tired.
Long standing stretch right now.
Lamb 0 for 1 so far. He drives and is hammered by Weens. Our first foul of the afternoon.
Looked good that time. He made that quick move and drew the foul. Jeremy Lamb and trying to get that right ankle loosened up. Sprained it in practice yesterday. Good quick step right there. That's an encouraging sign for the UConn faithful looking on.
Lamb shooting 84% from the foul line this year. Although the Huskies are 3-0, Jim Calhoun says, I haven't seen the enthusiasm, which is surprising when you consider we have 8 kids back who experienced the ultimate success. We don't know who we are yet.
Well, they're still trying to find out. It's early in the year, still a young team, and you lose someone like a Kemba Walker, who is such a personality and leader on the club last year. It'll take a little time. And the backcourt playing very well early, but Lamb and Napier are sophomores.
Roscoe Smith enters, replacing Olander for the Huskies. Smith has struggled in the first 3 games. Gallo with the drive, high off the glass.
Tony Gallo from Lynn, Massachusetts, playing off to a very good start this year for Coppin State.
Second leading scorer in the MEAC at 20.7 per game. Napier to Lamb. Lamb will fire up his jump shot over Williams. Well, he might have a sprained ankle, but it hasn't affected his touch, huh?
He looked good on that one.
He's got all 4 of UConn's points. It took the Huskies nearly 4 minutes to get their first field goal. Weens to Ellis. Return pass to Weens. Catches and fires. Air ball, rebound Napier. Let's see if UConn can get something in transition. I guess that answered that question. Huh?
Oh, my. What a dunk that time by DeAndre Daniels. He's coming off a double-figure game against Maine. He looks like the real deal. Just a freshman.
Gallo with the 3-pointer over Napier. Missed the rim. Rebound to Oriaki, his 3rd. Napier, right side, wide open look for Daniels. Long rebound. And here comes Coppin State 2-on-2. Gallo catches, had Lamb's hand in his face, and leaves for Ellis. Hakeem Ellis was 0 for 9 from three-point range for the season before burying that shot.
Yeah, he's off to a good start. Build the confidence early in this one. This quicker pace, I think, favors UConn. They like to get out and run and then hit the boards.
Roscoe Smith, who comes from the hometown of the Coppin State Eagles, Baltimore, missing the foul line jumper. Ellis, kick out, Gallo, three. Tony Gallo's 10th three-pointer of the year, third best in the MEAC.
Open looks for Coppin State in the transition game. Playing very well early. Connecticut's been settling for outside jumpers.
Napier puts it on the floor and will draw the foul. And that will bring us to our first official timeout of the afternoon. UConn would love to get something going in transition. So far, they've only done it once. Ron, when you played at Holy Cross, did you have to worry about the ball hitting you in the chin after you dunked it?
Not a big problem to worry about.
The visitors from Baltimore are doing a nice job hanging in with the defending national champions. 5.5 minutes in. Coppin State is from the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, enrollment 3,875. Notable alum Larry Stewart, probably the most famous athletic figure. It's the guy you're looking at right there. Ron Fang Mitchell. He's coached there for a long time. Best win in Coppin State history. The win over South Carolina, one of the few times that a 15 seed has knocked off a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament.
That was the defining game. Unbelievable win for Coppin State. And then they lost their next game by 1 to Texas, so they would have had a trip to the Sweet 16 that year. Incredible.
Eagles have gone to the NCAA tournament 4 times. Coppin State comes out of the timeout in a 2-3 zone. Why the switch?
Well, I think just to try to pack it inside, force Connecticut to shoot from the perimeter.
Last touch by the Huskies, number 12, Drummond, Andre Drummond, coming off a breakout game against Maine the other night. 11 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocked shots. He has entered. Olander returns as well.
I think Jim Calhoun looking for some energy off the bench. UConn's really started this game off flat. Coppin State playing free and easy, shooting the ball pretty well during that last stretch.
Williams inside the arc. He's knocked down 2 perimeter shots. And the lead's a half dozen. An 8-0 Coppin State run. Napier feeds Olander. It's an easy game when you can penetrate.
Oh, yeah. Napier can do that very well. And I think, you know, Connecticut needs more of that and that kind of action to the goal to really take advantage of their height.
Cephas. Michael Murray, 21, is checked in for the Eagles. He's shooting 50% from the floor. From the perimeter, it's Ellis. What did I say? He was 0 for 9 from three-point range. He likes these rims here in Hartford.
Contagious right now, and for Coppin State to be upset-minded today, they've got to shoot the ball well.
Drummond with the miss. Wild scramble. Daniels out-hustles everyone to pick up the loose ball, and he will draw a foul.
Coppin State had the rebound there, but tried to dribble out of traffic. You want to outlet that ball when you get it inside. Rebound, outlet, and run the floor.
First foul on Antonio Williams, 3rd on the team. Niels Giffey will check in for the Huskies at the next whistle. And he replaces DeAndre Daniels. UConn beginning the season with 4 straight home games. Then it will be off to the Bahamas for 3 games over Thanksgiving weekend. Napier for 3. His 8th of the year.
Talked about Shabazz Napier off the top, and he's a real gamer. He likes to take big shots for Connecticut and makes a lot of them.
His first career start for Tariq Cephas, and he knocks down the jumper.
Boy, Coppin State really shooting the ball well right now.
Napier drives, kick out, Olander. Drummond kept it alive, then Olander follows up his own miss and will draw the foul.
You know, Olander can shoot that 15-footer. Like the way he followed that one. Coppin State's been shooting the ball well. That's Cephas the last time, draining the jumper. Coppin State has been shooting 2s and 3s very well. The pace of this game has picked up a little bit. Coppin State also doing a good job to clog things up in the paint area on defense.
Olander with the miss. The foul was on Ellis. Fang Mitchell, in case you're wondering, the genesis of the nickname after the character White Fang. You remember this, Ronnie. I'm not old enough. From the TV series Soupy Sales.
Soupy Sales.
Back in the 60s. There was a character named White Fang. And Coach Mitchell named after that character, at least his nickname. He says, I learned a long time ago from John Chaney, the best way to prepare for your league is to play a tough non-league schedule. They just played Oklahoma. They're playing UConn today. They're playing Purdue next Saturday.
He's accomplishing that. This is a very tough stretch for Coppin State, but I think his feeling is it'll only pay dividends when they get into league play, and your players will have seen the very, very best of competition leading up to that.
Cephas on the switch, being picked up by the much taller Oriaki. Shot clock down to 5. Gallo gets by Napier and was stripped. Here's Napier. He has Drummond behind him. Cephas, that was a smart foul. Avoided what might have been a dunk if Napier managed to get the ball back to Drummond. 2 on Cephas, 5 on the team. Substitution Coppin State. Our first look at number 5, Michael Harper, who's a preseason second team All-MEAC selection.
Harper and Ellis and Gallo, all the top scorers for Coppin State. Tried the alley-oop, but doesn't work for UConn.
And Drummond not only missed, but he's called for an over-the-back foul at attempting to score off the alley-oop. That's the first foul on the Huskies. It took 8 minutes to get it. They're down 6. Well, 3 weeks ago, Connecticut got hit by a snowstorm, but it is a beautiful late November Sunday afternoon in downtown Hartford. By the way, the scoreboard was wrong when we went to break. That's the correct score, 17-12 Coppin State. Eagles are hitting from beyond the arc.
Yeah, they're shooting the ball terrific from the three-point land. They're just draining shots out there, and a lot of different players getting into the act with Gallo and Hakeem Ellis leading the way. We thought their backcourt in shooting had to be right on in this game to, stay with Connecticut and be upset-minded, and they've really done that in the early going.
Harper for 3, and he knocks it down. Harper was 1 for 6 from three-point range in the one-sided loss at Oklahoma on Friday.
Look for Connecticut to really increase the pressure on the perimeter. It's some pretty clean looks out there for Coppin State right now, and Connecticut is just not playing with that high level of intensity that they need to have in this ball game. Ron Mitchell's club is playing with confidence right now.
Yeah, Fang Mitchell said, look, we like to run. We know that might be playing into UConn's hands because they like to run and they do it better than us, but it makes no sense for us to change our style for one game.
It makes sense. I mean, you have a quick team, you've got a backcourt-oriented team, so to try to slow it down and just try to take the air out of the ball is tough, especially when Coppin State's been really getting out-rebounded badly in their first few games. They're trying to go with their strength.
Lamb for 3. Rebound batted around, taken on a hop by Harper. Finds Weems. Missed the shot and went down hard. The foul will be on Olander. Weems very fortunate. Now he's holding the left elbow.
His legs came right out from under him as he went for the stuff on. He's holding his left elbow. Gets tangled up, tries to hold on to the rim, but just comes down hard. Legs come out. He tries to hold, but the continuation with Olander pulls him off the rim.
First foul on Olander, 2 on the team. It's only Weems' 3rd free throw attempt of the season. You can see he's still wincing.
Yeah, that left elbow is hurting him right now.
He's a senior from Merced, California. Played 2 years at Merced College. This is his 2nd season at Coppin State, but he did not play last year because of NCAA clearinghouse issues. So this is his first, and it will be his last season for the Eagles. We'll get a hold on Gallo as he tried to stop Napier from penetrating. 1 on Gallo and 6 on the team. So Eagles are getting into some early first half team foul trouble.
Yeah, the quicker, stronger team for UConn. They're going to take it to the goal more, draw fouls.
Well, so far, Ron, UConn is not taking advantage of their tremendous difference in height by scoring on the inside. Hasn't happened.
They've been taking outside shots. Coppin State doing a very good job of clogging up the lane. They're going to continue to do it until UConn makes some shots.
Olander's pass out to Lamb, and great hustle by Murray, and there's the steal.
Coppin State's just more aggressive in the early going. They went and just got that ball.
Ellis for three, his third three of the half.
Contagious right now for Coppin State. Everybody into the act, draining perimeter shots.
0 for 9 from three-point range before today. 3 for 3 today. Napier with the miss. One tip, no good. Rebound Weeds. Here's a 4-on-1 Eagles break. Murray, the up and under move, tipped off once, and finally Napier gets the rebound, and a foul over the back will be called on Murray. That's one on him, and the Eagles are over the limit with 10-17 remaining in the first half.
That was a big miss. I mean, not only the foul, but on the break, a chance for Coppin State to go up by 14 in the early going. All three players got too close to each other on the break that time. You need good spacing when you're running a fast break, and you could see the Coppin State players all bunched together, allowing UConn to defend the break.
See the little word bonus under the number 12 for UConn, signifying that the Huskies are in the bonus following Coppin State's 7th foul. So it will be 1-1 for Shabazz Napier, the sophomore from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Of course, Ron, there's really no way to overstate the impact of the loss of Kemba Walker, who had one of the great seasons in UConn history a year ago. But at least the man who is replacing him in Napier is someone who had a great deal of experience as a freshman.
He had great experience as a freshman. We've got Kemba Walker in the house tonight, too. Look at him over there. I tell you what, just the heart and soul of his team a year ago. Always looked like he's having so much fun in the court. But Napier and Lamb and company really came along as the season progressed as well.
Walker a year ago, first team Associated Press All-American and the most outstanding player of the Final Four. Count it, and the foul on Lamb. 1 on Lamb, 3 on the Huskies.
And strong move here by Michael Harper. Picked to be a second team All-MEAC conference double-figure score. That was a strong move to the goal that time.
Well, Coppin State does not look like a team, Ron, that played on Friday night in Norman, Oklahoma, and had a long trip yesterday. They look pretty fresh, don't they?
They really do. They're playing with a lot of confidence. When you get some shots to go early, all of a sudden they're saying, hey, we can play with these guys, and they're doing it. Oh, nice move.
So the Huskies trim the lead to 11. Coppin State had gone on a 10-2 run before that basket. Boy, what a defensive lapse there. Napier thought he was handing him off to someone else, and no one picked him up, but Gallo missed the shot.
Nobody was home.
Offensive rebound, Drummond, and a reach-in foul on Gallo. That's 2 on him and 8 on the Eagles.
There almost was one for Gallo to just let Drummond have that basket rather than pick up number 2. Last time down the floor, the Shabazz Napier up and under. He's got all kinds of ability, very creative, leads the team in assists. He's been shooting the ball well. He's the quarterback.
The free throw shooting experience early in his freshman year has been sort of a saga for Drummond as Lamb leaves. Drummond with that made free throw, just 4 for 14 from the line. What do you think of that form? He doesn't look very comfortable, does he?
Got both of them to go. He's kind of he's short-arming it a little bit, but he's getting good rotation on the ball. I think if he just lets that arm extend a bit more, it'll feel more fluid.
Steal by Daniels, finds Giffey, and he is hammered by number 24, Colin Johnson. That's 1 on him and 9 team fouls on the Eagles. But Daniels made the play with the steal, and then he kept it alive and got it to a teammate.
What's nice about this is he gets down there on the hardwood. That's been Coppin State so far in the game. That gets him going. And I like the way Giffey said, hey, I'm going to take it right to the rack. And suddenly UConn, although not converting insides, getting to the line and taking advantage of some of their size and strength.
Giffey's first miss in 3 attempts from the line this year. He missed the opening game against Columbia with an injury. Sophomore from Germany. Rebound off the second miss by Weens. Coppin State with the ball, up 9. 9 minutes left first half. Weens deep 3.
Wow.
Roscoe Smith lost the rebound, but Napier saves it to Drummond.
That was downtown, Bob. That was a 25 to 30 footer.
Goodness.
Talked about Shabazz Napier off the top. Lamb's hurting a bit out here tonight with the ankle, and Napier starting to take charge.
UConn swarming the ball. Inside ball fake Williams with the miss. Tipped once, no good by Johnson. And Napier comes away. The no-look pass deflected into the UConn band. Almost hit the tuba player. Well, Lamb's the one with the sprained ankle, but a couple Coppin State players are going to have ankle injuries after this.
Tell you what, he goes right, left, and then left, right. Watch him, bang, bang, right back with the right. That's the crossover move. And just did a great job of leaning to the left, quick move to the right, and leaving people in their tracks on that one.
We are at the XL Center in downtown Hartford, Connecticut. 5th meeting between Coppin State and UConn. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry, who scored 2,500 points in his career at Holy Cross. Coppin State looking for only its 2nd win in history against a ranked team. Roscoe Smith with an aggressive move to the rim. Can't finish, but he does draw the foul.
That's what Connecticut can hurt you. We've been saying that from the beginning would be the 2nd and 3rd efforts that now are really starting to take their toll in terms of fouls by Coppin State as they are hacking UConn as they're trying to finish off these second chances.
That's the first foul on St. Louis and 10 on the team. Smith fouled in the act of shooting, so he would have been shooting 2 anyway. But now it's the bonus plus, as you see on your screen. But you know, the number 21 for UConn. Every foul the rest of the half, and we still have 8 minutes left, will be 2 shots for the Huskies.
That could be a big factor in this first half. Coppin State shot the ball very well, but the foul difficulties and the 2nd and 3rd chances with the size advantage for Connecticut.
And Drummond will pick up his 2nd foul. Both have come at the offensive end of the floor, and that's number 4 on the Huskies. Coppin State is led by as many as 13. The lead's been trimmed to 6. UConn run has pulled the Huskies within 6 of Coppin State. Well, let's take a look at our Big East leaders, brought to you by PNC. For the achiever in you, and Ron, how about that? This just in, UConn among the leaders in block shots for change.
Every year they seem to be right there on top of the nation in terms of block shots. No surprise there. What is surprising in this game, though, is that Coppin State, to this point, is leading UConn 14-13 on the backboards, and Coppin State has been getting out-rebounded by 19 rebounds a game coming in. It's early, but that's a surprise.
Yeah, Coppin State is 11th in the MEAC in rebounding margin. Cross court, can Napier get there? He does. Olander. Great hustle by both Napier and Olander will result in a couple of free throws. 2nd foul on number 24, Colin Johnson. And we see the last couple of minutes the UConn defensive intensity picking up.
Yeah, it really is. Much tighter on the defensive end. Great job by Napier just to keep that alive with the tip. There was no time to catch it and then throw it back, so he tipped it back to Olander. Very good heads-up play.
Olander knocks down the free throw, and while he and his Huskies will be in the Bahamas playing in the Battle for Atlantis tournament over Thanksgiving weekend, Tyler's brother Ryan will be with the Fairfield Stags in the Old Spice Classic, another 8-team event over Thanksgiving weekend in Orlando. Coppin State, 4 players with 2 fouls each. They have 11 team fouls.
Well, that could be a real problem in this game, but right now Connecticut's increasing the pressure. They're going more full court, and you can see the intensity level has picked up quite a bit.
Williams thought about it. Down low, Williams wants to go at Olander. Instead, kick out Weems. Front rims it. Good hustle. Rebound on a hop by Johnson. Right back to Ellis. Finally missed the three. Rebound on the floor. Still loose. Coppin State has it. And they get a timeout before a held ball. Jim Calhoun is hot. He wants to know, how could that ball be on the floor as long as it did? And all I saw were guys in the black uniforms with possession. We'll see what substitution he makes. Whichever young man is leaving just got the old heave-ho from the Hall of Fame coach.
A lot of black jerseys on the floor on that one. Very scrappy bunch with Coppin State. Yeah, there's a lot of bodies everywhere, frankly, but Coppin State comes up with it. And the heads-up timeout.
If you want to get your Hall of Fame coach just a little bit agitated, let the other team out hustle you. And Coppin State just flat out hustled the Huskies on that last possession. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, they've been really scrappy. They've been getting after it in this first half. You know, they know they're big-time underdogs. They're letting it really go out here. They've shot it well. And to be up by 4 with 7 to go, certainly a surprise, but they've shot it. They've shot the ball well. They've got to continue to do that. They will not be able to control rebounds in this game.
Knocked away by Daniels, and then Ellis with the reach-in foul and trying to get it back. That's 2 on him, so he's the 5th Coppin State player with 2 fouls and the 12th team foul.
It's defensive intensity right now for Connecticut, and Daniels will get a hand on this ball. Nice strip. And then the push off by Ellis. That'll happen sometimes. You lose it, you want to keep it, you push off. So 2 problems in 1, the turnover and the foul.
Daniels, the freshman from Los Angeles. Last time out against Maine, career high 15 points and a career high 7 rebounds. Ron, he's a very versatile player. He's 6'8". He could probably play the 2 guard if you really needed him there, but he's probably best suited for the 3, but he's tall enough he could even play the 4.
He's a good-looking athlete. Really, as you say, versatile freshman. He's guarding backcourt people. Can do it all.
Kick out. Left side 3. Johnson no good. Last touch by Coppin State with 6:42 remaining in the half.
Connecticut hasn't been helping themselves from the foul line. They've been going there a lot in this first half with all these fouls committed by Coppin State. Got to do a better job to convert from the stripe.
Coppin State has gone scoreless for 3 minutes. 9-0 UConn run. Lamb with the fadeaway. Inside Roscoe Smith and a chance for a 3-point play. It's an 11-0 UConn run, and the lead is almost completely wiped away.
UConn has got a much bigger lineup on the floor right now in terms of height, in terms of length. And they're just going up after these balls. The offensive rebounding is the key for Connecticut right now. But a lot of this is keyed off of the defensive intensity at the other end of the floor.
Weems becomes the 5th Coppin State player with 2 fouls. So it's 27-26. It was 27-14. 12-0 UConn run in the last 3.5 minutes.
Now that can all be attributed to the defensive intensity. Connecticut really getting after it right now. Trapping, pressure.
Great individual move by number 15, Mike Simpson. Finally ending the UConn run at 12-0.
Now Connecticut can put these spurts together. Good defense, pressure, push the ball.
Napier down low. Oriaki kicks out to Roscoe, or dunks to Roscoe Smith. Well, begs to ask the question, Ron, where was that defensive intensity at the beginning of the game?
It wasn't there. You know, they had to get behind to say, wait a minute, let's get this thing turned up. And now the dial's way up.
Simpson baseline. Smith blocked it from behind. UConn with a 2-on-2. Napier has Daniels right. Fade. And the lead's all gone. A 16-2 UConn run has turned a 13-point deficit into a 1-point UConn lead. Roscoe Smith started it at the defensive end.
Good defense leads to good offense. The block, Connecticut controlling it. Just a great job by Napier to read. No one opened. He was looking, and then he said, hey, I'll just take a little step back jumper and finish it off.
Last foul on Daniels, one for Daniels and 5 on the Huskies. Baseline, Simpson. Here's Napier. The pull-up off the break. Rebound pulled down by 23 Ellis. Inside the 5-minute mark. Simpson sets the high screen. Simpson started the first 3 games, came off the bench today. Williams to Johnson. Williams sets the screen. Johnson instead went the other way. Now Williams with the pull-up over Oriaki. Rebound batted around to Napier. Right side, Giffey. Ball foul. Oh, the no-look feed to Smith.
Oh, that was pretty. Look at this no-look. Lefty splits the top of that zone. The 2 defenders had really spread out. Napier sees his man underneath. They spread. The ball, he ball faked, and then he threw it, which was a beautiful move to get the defense to jump right there. And good hands inside and finish. You want to finish those plays. And Roscoe Smith did the job. That ball hung on the rim just for a little bit more anticipation for the 3-point play.
So Smith completes the 3-point play. He's been quite active. That foul on Ellis was his 3rd.
And Roscoe Smith has really been slow out of the blocks.
He has been. Lost his starting job to Daniels 2 games ago. It's a 19-2 UConn run.
Looks like Tony Gallo is going to sit. He picked up his 2nd foul, and a lot of this kind of problem offensively for Coppin started when their leading scorer went to the bench as well.
Harper with the miss, rebound Olander. Coppin State has scored 2 points in the last 6 minutes. Napier, kick out Lamb for 3.
Coming up short, and a lot of times that's because you're not getting that same spring off the legs. I think that's where his ankle's bothering him.
You surprised that Lamb's playing today when we saw how gingerly he was moving around and doing very little in pregame warmups?
Well, I think they want to see if he could go. They tested him. He was out with the training staff before the game. They felt he was good enough to go. And sometimes with an ankle, you've just got to tape it up and get it loose. Because for moments, he's looked pretty good out here. Other times, he looks tentative.
Foul on Simpson. Coppin State's going to run out of players with all these fouls they've committed. Napier with an ankle-breaking move earlier in the half. And how about this no-look pass? Fortunately for Napier, Roscoe Smith was looking. Downtown Hartford, UConn Huskies in town for their 2nd of 10 regular season appearances. Jim Calhoun last time out against Maine. To start the 2nd half, Ron, the official play-by-play sheet will say 1955, as in 1955 remaining, timeout UConn. He spent halftime telling the troops we need to push the ball up the floor. He didn't like the way they were not pushing it in the first 5 seconds. So he called timeout. He yanked Jeremy Lamb from the game. And he explained to him, he says, you didn't even get the ball through the Husky, the great big Husky logo at center court, in 5 seconds. He said, I don't know what the record is for getting the ball through the Husky, but you didn't break it.
You got to at least get through the Husky.
So you sit here for a while.
And otherwise, you won't have that 5-second timeout. The message was sent.
Harper slides to his right. Pretty shot.
Some real athletic ability. You've got some really good guard play on Coppin State's club, and they've also done a good job undersized to really try to bunch things up on this 2-3 zone. Played a little man early, but it's been mostly zone. Try to see if they can get inside and have some bodies to rebound.
Giffey with the miss. And Johnson for the rebound. Well, with all the foul trouble they're in, don't they have to play zone?
Got to play zone now. Yep, they played early with it, though, I think, just to be in the rebounding position.
Offensive rebound, Antonio Williams. It's swatted away by Smith. And then swatted away by Lamb. Still Coppin State ball.
Good illustration of how tough it is for Coppin State to score in the paint. They're just undersized. And why Connecticut's always right at the top of the nation in terms of block shots. This is a very game Coppin State team, though. They're playing very aggressively in the first half.
Those are the first 2 blocks for UConn. Now we'll get a hold called, I think, on Roscoe Smith before the ball was thrown in bounds. 1 on him, 6 on the team.
A little wrap-around action down low. Call for the foul.
Those last 2 block shots, back-to-back Smith and Lamb, first 2 of the game for UConn. Huskies have now enjoyed a 31-7 block shot advantage over their opponents this season.
That was a near pickoff opportunity for Napier.
Yeah, he's upset at himself that he didn't break on the ball. Kick out. Colin Johnson buries the 3.
Now the 3 ball has really kept Coppin State in the game in this first half. Shot it well.
Johnson's first 3-pointer of the season. 6th 3 of the afternoon for the Eagles, who have pulled even at 34 after leading by 13. Lamb tested that ankle on that move to the rim. Looked like he got up pretty high for a guy with a bad ankle.
I'll tell you what, he looked good on that one. That's the best he's looked. He had another drive like that, but that one he really exploded to the goal.
We get a traveling violation on the Eagles. Turnover number 8 on Coppin State.
Here's the last move by Lamb. There's the explosiveness to the goal. Looked good on that one. I think as he's gone through the half, the ankle has loosened up a bit.
Ron, does it seem to you that Lamb scores effortlessly?
It really does. It's kind of gliding out there, Bob. It looks like he's just, you know, gliding around. He's so athletic. It really makes it look easy.
Napier. Back to Lamb for 3.
You knew that one was going to go after that last drive. The touch was right there, and all of a sudden, the game-time decision to play Jeremy Lamb, he's looking better and better as the half goes along.
First 3 for Lamb today, 9th of the season. Or make that 7th of the season for Lamb. He's got 9. Scored 30 on opening night against Columbia. The miss by Simpson, and the rebound pulled down by Johnson, and a fresh shot clock.
Pretty nice job by Cephas there to back it out. Kind of a rare offensive rebounding opportunity.
Cephas got away through a forehand that connected with Napier's Adam's apple. Oriaki lost the rebound. Lamb gets it to Daniels. Shot clock off, 24 seconds left in the half. And Jim Calhoun with his use it or lose it first half timeout. He'll set something up in the huddle for the final 20 seconds. And also will take advantage of the opportunity to ask Brian O'Connell, is it not against the rules for someone to hit my guy in the Adam's apple? Or something to that effect.
Let me just review that play. I think what they'll do out of this timeout is they'll look to get the ball to Napier and let him penetrate and create with, usually you want to do it with about 8 seconds to go, and I've got to believe the way Lamb is finishing, he'd be option 1 unless somebody is open inside for that strong move, maybe an Oriaki to power it to the goal.
Next up for UConn will be a trip to the Bahamas. They're leaving right after the game today to bus to Logan Airport and fly down to the Bahamas to play in the Battle for Atlantis. It is an 8-team, 3-day event, and the Huskies' first game will be on Thanksgiving night at 7 o'clock against UNC Asheville. They'll play on Friday against either the University of Central Florida or the College of Charleston, and then on Saturday against one team in the other side of the bracket, Florida State or Harvard or UMass or Utah. Napier to Lamb. Coppin State in a 2-3 zone for this last possession of the half. Deflected out of bounds by Johnson with 8.8 to go.
Get it to Napier. See if he can split the defense. Lamb is go-to option number one. And Daniels on the opposite wing.
Is it easier or harder to go backdoor against the zone?
Tougher to go against the zone. More help there. Oh, there he is again, Lamb. What a finish.
That's why the man's in the Hall of Fame. In the huddle, he just said, look, just pass it around a few times and give it to number 3 and let's get out of here. UConn trailed 27-14 with 9:30 to go in the half and ended the half on a 27-7 run and has opened up a 41-34 lead. Jeremy Lamb, preseason first-team Associated Press All-American. We didn't think he'd play today when we watched him in pregame warm-ups. He has a sprained ankle. He's also got a dozen points and ended the half with back-to-back threes. UConn by 7. Who needs the NFL when you can have a whole handful of popcorn and watch the Huskies play, right?
That looks like a lot of fun right there.
UConn with a 7-point lead over Coppin State at the half. And these are a couple of reasons why the Huskies completely turned the game around in the last 9.5 minutes.
Well, they had a great run keyed by the defensive intensity. Look at that free throw advantage and points in the paint. Not at all surprising. UConn taller, bigger, and they just started to play harder as that first half went along. Early it was Coppin State diving for loose balls, making threes. And for Coppin State, Ron Mitchell did a really good job with everyone getting fouls to work his bench. A lot of guys with 2 fouls. But we'll see if they can get that hot hand again from the perimeter.
Huskies starting backcourt, counting for 22 points. Thanks for joining us for Big East basketball, presented by PNC on this Sunday afternoon in Hartford. UConn trying to begin the season 4-0. Lamb has hit 3 straight threes. End of first half, beginning of second.
And looking better as the game goes along. I think at times looks like he's sore out there, but he makes some of these moves. He makes it look effortless.
Number 5, Michael Harper, starting the second half for Coppin State instead of Hakeem Ellis.
UConn's been in man-to-man throughout in this game. They've done some trapping, but the defensive intensity was much better the second half of the first half.
Shot clock down to 3. Gallo just throws up the 3-pointer. Napier in transition to Lamb for 16 points.
That backcourt duo looks great to start out this year. We showed Kemba Walker in the stands to start the game, and he's got to be pretty proud of the way the backcourt tandem is playing here today.
Harper with the nice hang in the air move. Jeremy Lamb has scored UConn's last 12 points, including the first 5 of the second half, and Napier gets the layup.
Napier really having a terrific floor game here today. He's penetrating, dishing, and he always plays very pesky defense as well. Quick hands.
Lamb and Napier have already combined for 29 points in the first 22 minutes. Andre Drummond and Roscoe Smith starting the second half for UConn instead of Olander and DeAndre Daniels. That will be the 3rd foul on Drummond, who will immediately take a seat. One on UConn this half.
Just been about a half step off in this game today. He's picked up 3 fouls, and when you're a big man and it's hard to hide out there, you're going to get called for a lot of those fouls. He did leave his feet on the pump fake that time.
Williams misses the first free throw, so Olander will replace Drummond. Drummond the other night against Maine, 11 points, 14 rebounds, 4 block shots, and Jim Calhoun said, when you go after the ball on the rim, jump 2 or 3 times as quickly as he can. I will take that package that he is right now. After the missed free throw, finally Olander came away with it, and he gives to Napier. On the drive to Olander.
Another great dish by Napier, really running the floor well. And Olander had his hands ready. He was the trailer. Did a nice job to finish.
So Fang Mitchell has seen enough. He calls timeout just 2 minutes and 16 seconds into the half. The Huskies getting it all done at the offensive end of the floor. Napier scoring and dishing off, and Olander runs the floor and gets rewarded. It's a 14-point lead. to start the second half, extending the lead to 14. And Shabazz Napier has put on quite a show. He has done it all from the point guard position today.
Yeah, really solid floor game for Shabazz. Look at that ball fake, and then the no-look lefty pass. And that's really good for the big people to say, hey, you know, if I move and get open as Olander does on the break right there, I'm going to get rewarded for it. And Napier's really got his head up, and he really is passing the ball well here today.
Out of the Coppin State timeout, Gallo, he has been held in check by the Huskies. He has scored just 5. He's averaging 20. Weens knocks down the long 3. Weens is 9th in the MEAC in 3-point field goals, shooting 60% from 3-point range early in the season.
He took one from about 30 in the first half. He's confident.
Lamb catch and shoot. He's got 18 points, and 14 of them have come in the last 6 minutes of playing time. Lamb, despite the sprained ankle, Ron, has played all but 1 minute today.
He's feeling better and better out there. His stroke is right on.
Gallo buries the 3. Transfer from Cabrillo College in California, second and final year at Coppin State.
Had to sit a lot in that first half with 2 fouls.
Olander hits the jump shot. He's got a nice touch for a big guy.
Really does. Southpaw, he can face up, and I think he's going to present some matchup problems as the year goes along for UConn's opponents. Nice little, you know, kind of counter punch to have him face up and be able to drain those shots.
Harper to Gallo. Poor switch on the screen. Gallo had the open shot, and we'll get a rebound foul on Coppin State. It will be on number 32, Antonio Williams, his first and one on the team. Alex Oriaki checks in for the Huskies. It's been another quiet day for Oriaki after a big game against Maine. Wound up with 16 points and 8 rebounds the other night, but Jim Calhoun said, yeah, he did it when the game was out of hand. Where was it earlier? He has to be a bully around the basket. Right now he isn't.
Yeah, he had a very quiet first half here today, but see if they can get him involved. There he is.
Got involved in a hurry, didn't he? First 2 points of the afternoon for Oriaki. Daniels got a hand on it. Gallo tried to penetrate. Loose change picked up in the corner by Harper. This is sort of a helter-skelter possession so far for the Eagles. Weens with the miss. The ball went up over the backboard, so it'll go over to UConn. Jeremy Lamb has picked up in the second half where he left off for the first half. 7 for 7 are the Huskies in the second half. UConn with a 14-point lead, well on their way perhaps to a 15th straight win. The Huskies learned on Friday that freshman Ryan Boatwright will be able to make his UConn debut next Saturday in the 7th game of the year. The NCAA had been investigating a potential improper benefit, and they ruled on Friday that there was one, and they decided that it would be a 6-game suspension, time credited for time served. So this is the 4th game of the year, Ron. He'll sit out the first 2 in the Bahamas, and then he'll join the team in game 7. By the way, Napier has played every minute today. That will change when Boatwright comes aboard, because they'll finally have a backup point guard.
Now he'll add to the rotation in a big way. Very quick handler, goes by people. So it'd be nice to see him mix it up out there with both Napier and Lamb. Napier's been great today.
Boatwright, the winner of the Illinois Mr. Basketball Award, he shared it. Jeremy Lamb has now hit his last 7 shots. He's got 21 points. He's averaging 22 per game. He's in a 3-way tie for the Big East lead in that category.
Now he's glad that he gave it a go today. He's been red hot.
UConn goes zone, and they didn't rotate quickly enough to get out on Harper.
I like the backcourt for Coppin State between Harper and Gallo and Ellis and company. They've some good shots up there today.
UConn, the only team ranked in the top 25 on Coppin State's schedule this year. The ball off Lamb's hands. Here's Harper, and with the bad ankle, Lamb's not going to be able to catch him.
Rare turnover by UConn here tonight. Nice steal all the way down. Man-to-man by Coppin State right now. They played a lot of zone with the foul difficulty in the first half.
It's only the 4th turnover for UConn. Daniels. Right side Napier. They wanted to work the give and go, but they couldn't get it to Smith. Shot clock at 10. Lamb around the Oriaki screen and the pull-up. Finally missed one. He had made 7 in a row. Roscoe Smith put back no good. Last touch by Napier.
Coppin State has really battled on the boards today. Came in getting out-rebounded badly in their last couple of games, and they've really held their own against the taller Husky lineup here today.
Uh-oh. We had 6 men on the court there briefly. Olander went in. Roscoe Smith started to come out. Then he seemed to be confused and thought maybe I'm not supposed to be the one to leave. And I don't think he was, because he's going right back in. But for a split second, there were 6 people on the court.
Extra man on the field.
A couple of new rules this year, but I don't think that's one of them. We're going on 6. Weens with his second 3 of the day.
See where Coppin State will be tough in the MEAC this year. Picked to finish 3rd. Nice pass. Another great dish by Napier.
It's his 10th assist, Ron. That's a career high. He tied his career high with 8 on opening night against Columbia. Gallo. Rebound pulled down by Olander.
Solid day by Olander as well, running the floor, rebounding.
And then Napier hits the 3 at the other end. Boy, UConn's got a lot of answers, don't they?
They really do. They spread you out, then they bang the backboards. But this Lamb-Napier combo has been terrific to start this year out for UConn.
Napier's 16 points and 10 assists, and he's played every minute. 12 and a half left. Catch and fire Gallo with Napier's hand in the face. 7th rebound for Olander. And then Gallo will pick up his 3rd foul.
Shabazz Napier with the floor game. That's his 10th assist of the game right there. Beautiful penetration, and he comes right down. The defense has to respect him. They back off, so he drains the 3. So you shoot it, you penetrate. Makes it very tough to defend.
Napier, preseason honorable mention All Big East selection. Made the conference's all-rookie team a year ago, as did Lamb. Lamb is on the preseason watch list for both the Naismith and Wooden Player of the Year awards. Napier off the handoff from Olander. Rebound pulled down by 23 Ellis. Gallo in transition. You mentioned Coppin State picked 3rd in the MEAC preseason poll. Morgan State from Baltimore is picked 1st. Gallo uses the glass.
Nice penetrating move. Coppin State, with the smaller lineup, just hasn't been able to go inside in this game and try to get any kind of low post game. So it's perimeter shots and penetrating moves like that one.
Lamb with the stop and go. Left his feet, didn't know where to go with it. Finally finds Daniels. Daniels dumped down to Roscoe Smith.
He's been a bright spot today for UConn, Roscoe Smith.
Kemba Walker enjoying that basket. Rebound Daniels. Too far intended for Smith. And as is so often the case, when the ball lands on press row, it was bobbled and not fielded cleanly. Napier's doing his Shabazz Napier impersonation. Roscoe Smith's most active game of the year so far. Big East basketball presented by PNC. We are coming your way from Connecticut's capital city. Hartford has it. They got the UConn Huskies in town today, and the UConn Huskies have one of the, if not the best backcourts in the country, Ron.
Off to a great start this year, and again happening today We didn't know if Lamb would go with the sore ankle from the sprain yesterday in practice. He has gone and shot the ball so well, and Shabazz Napier's overall floor game has been outstanding with the 10 assists.
Out of the timeout, Gallo with the blow-by. Rebound Napier. He has Lamb and Daniels behind him, and Napier's tripped up. Seems to be okay. Logan Weens picked up the personal. That will be his third, and 3 on the Eagles here in the second half. Now, how do you suppose Lamb's ankle is going to feel after this game? Again, after the game, the bus ride to Boston, and then a long flight to the Bahamas.
I think it's going to stiffen up a bit, but the way it loosened up for him today, very encouraging. Going to get some ice on it right away, and I'm sure the training staff will put some kind of wrap, but not ideal to have to travel like that.
Ball last touched by UConn. 17 to shoot for the Eagles. Lamb last year during UConn's run to the NCAA championship, in the 6 NCAA tournament games, shot 58%. That's unheard of for a guard.
He played so well, just the perfect counterpoint with Kemba Walker. Better and better as the tournament went along.
Daniels for 3.
They made that look easy, didn't they? Yet another answer, and quietly DeAndre Daniels, the freshman, really fitting into the rotation nicely.
He's got 5. Got his second consecutive start today. Took over the starting spot from Roscoe Smith. Ellis rotates into the corner. The jumper by Harper no good. Rebound Napier. Napier now with his first career triple-double. Wow. It's his career high 10th rebound to go along with the 16 points and 11 assists.
What a package he's put together today.
Lamb misses the shot. Rebound last touched by UConn. So we'll go back to the Eagles. Coppin State out of the MEAC. Shabazz Napier, the backup point guard to that man last year, Kemba Walker, who was the most outstanding player in the Final Four. And of course, Kemba and everybody else in the NBA just anxiously awaiting some sort of breakthrough in the negotiations. The NBA season in severe jeopardy because of the lockout. Looked a couple of weeks ago, Ron, like they're about to settle. Not now.
Yeah, they got right to the point of being there, and then it looks like they could not just get over that final hurdle.
Gallo somehow got it up and over the big paw of Andre Drummond. He's got a dozen.
Got a lot of players like Kemba Walker all over the country too. The NBA, they want to get after it, but hopefully they will be able to figure out so we can see some NBA ball as well.
Smith in the lane, had the shot blocked by Ellis. Lamb comes away with it. Shot clock didn't recycle. It is down to 10.
Penetration time by Napier.
The lane is cleared. Napier threaded the ball to Lamb. The rebound is pulled down by Harper. Quickly he threw it behind Gallo for the 3. Could be a 4. Jim Calhoun not very happy with his young freshman center Drummond. So Drummond will leave with his 4th foul. And what's that old rule about you never foul a jump, especially a 3-point jump shooter? What's a big guy 6'10" doing, fouling a little guy like him shooting a 3?
Don't foul the jump shooter, especially when the jump shooter is behind the 3-point stripe.
So it is a 4-point play for Gallo. His coach, Fang Mitchell, says Gallo's the heart and soul of our team. He does whatever it takes to win. He's our leader on and off the court. He has scored 8 straight points.
He's a scrapper. He gets after it.
And then Daniels throws it away. So Coppin State has a chance to cut that UConn lead into single digits. It's only the 6th turnover for UConn. And the Huskies entered the day, Ron, dead last in the Big East in turnover margin. You had to figure that would stay that way forever.
Exactly.
Ellis with the miss. Olander pulls down the rebound. his 8th. He's the leading rebounder on UConn this year. Napier for 3.
And we talked about Napier at the beginning. He stepped up again.
Napier ahead to Lamb. I thought with the ankle he might say, "Here, Roscoe, you do it."
I'd say he left very little doubt with his leaping ability on that one.
23 points for Lamb. But I think the best player on the floor today has been the other guard, Napier, with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. What do you think?
I agree. Just the overall play. Napier has just controlled this game for UConn.
Weens with a miss, and Olander with rebound number 9. Napier again, this time blocked by Weens. Lead back up to 16. Remember, it was 11. Towson make that Coppin State down 11 at the ball a moment ago. Just like that, it's up to 16.
And it's just really jump shots for Coppin State in the second half. They can't get the ball inside, and it's really been one and done most of this second half with Connecticut grabbing the defensive boards.
Ellis to Harper. Shot clock at 5. Ellis for 3. Right up and over Olander.
What Ellis did in the first half, and the three-point ball has been a real weapon for Coppin State today that's kept them kind of hanging around in this ball game.
Ellis with 14 points. His 3rd double-figure scoring game of the young season. Napier. Lamb comes around the screen, then dumps it down to Smith. That's called reading the defense, huh?
Yeah, that'd be an offensive set that Jim Calhoun will want the guys to see on tape. The ball was swung. Nice bounce pass inside. A really nice job of execution by UConn that time.
Weens' pass deflected out of bounds by Napier. And what an afternoon it's been for the sophomore from Roxbury, Massachusetts. Napier has scored 19 points. There's one of his 11 assists. That's a career high. He's also got a career high 10 rebounds. He's done it all. And it's a 15-point UConn lead. Well, the rafters here at the XL Center, much as they are back at Gamble Pavilion, getting very crowded with the hardware. 3 national championships. Jim Calhoun, a member of the Hall of Fame, inducted into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame in 2005. And there's the most recent championship in 2011. Attention golfers and club pros. Online registration is now open for the 2012 ESPN National Golf Challenge. Log on to ESPNGolf.com to sign up and find a participating course near you. Saw some guys playing golf on my way here today, Ron. Beautiful Sunday afternoon, even though it's November.
Pretty good, right? Deep into November, you're playing a little golf with some good New England weather. Sun was shining.
Couldn't play golf over Halloween weekend in New England, that's for sure.
No, that snowstorm. A little nor'easter to kick things off.
Down low, Oriaki got stripped. It has been a very dismal performance for Oriaki today. Ellis gets the layup at the other end. 16 points. Play from the UConn big man other than Olander this year has really been up and down.
Yeah, they're going to need really a consistency from Oriaki, and I believe Drummond will be out there, and Olander has played well. I think a bright spot for UConn today has been the play of Roscoe Smith, who didn't score in the previous game against Maine.
3rd foul on Williams-IV on the team. There's Smith, who grew up in the shadows of the Coppin State campus in Baltimore, went to Oak Hill Academy in Virginia. I asked Fang Mitchell, I said, so guys in your team, they know Roscoe well? And he says, not really. He says, believe it or not, we only have one person from Baltimore on our entire team. That's Jordan Lee. We have not seen him yet today. He said, but I certainly am familiar with it. I saw him play in high school. I knew he was a bit out of our recruiting level. Lamb hits another jumper. 25 points for the spectacular sophomore from Norcross, Georgia.
He's got such a sweet shot.
Ooh, Gallo. He had a 4-point play earlier this half. Now he has a chance for a 3-point play.
Sacked quite a bit in the first half with foul problems. He's gotten back into the rhythm in this second half, and he is going to play that's going to be tough to contend with in MEAC conference play this year. He can really put some great moves together out there and score in a variety of ways.
At 22 points and 5 assists in the loss to Oklahoma the other night. Missed free throw, and the rebound goes off Drummond's hands to Ellis. So Drummond not able to build off that 11 point, 14 rebound, 4 block shot performance the other night against Maine. This has been a step back today for the freshman. Harper with the miss. Rebound Napier. That's his 12th rebound, adding to his career high.
Great afternoon for Napier. So under control, so confident.
And he's played every second of the game.
Doesn't look very tired.
Daniels, shot clock at 10. Lamb has played all but 1 minute. The dunk down to Drummond. And he is fouled. And Jim Calhoun is gesturing to Tyler Olander as if to say, why didn't your teammate who's 6'10" just dunk the ball there? Today's Big East game is brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. Back in Hartford, Bob Picozzi along with the 1980 America East Player of the Year, Ron Perry. UConn leading Coppin State 78-65. So, Ron, it looks like the Huskies are going to extend their winning streak to 15 games. That's the longest current winning streak in the country.
Well, the way they wrapped up last year, rattling off 11 in a row. 5 in the Big East. That Big East run to me was
unprecedented.
I haven't seen anything like it. And then the run in the NCAAs and picking right up.
So Drummond continues to struggle from the line. Last loss for UConn, the final game of the regular season a year ago, March 5th to Notre Dame. Then came the 5 wins in 5 days at the Big East, and then of course the 6-0 run in the NCAA tournament, concluding with the win over Butler in the national championship game in Houston.
Quite a run. Team really came together when you think of where they were early, young players trying to rally around Kemba Walker. Amazing. Now they're going to sort of put it away, spread the offense right now, which is fundamentally the way you want to do things.
UConn's Big East opener this year will be December 28th at the University of South Florida. Drummond with a nice move in the lane. That's what the head coach would like to see from the young man who is actually on the preseason watch list for the Naismith National Player of the Year Award without ever having played a minute of college ball. He's on that list. Williams inside.
You can tell he's a major talent. He runs the floor so well. This is a game where he never really got to get into it. Every time he made a move, he seemed to pick a foul up.
This foul will be on Michael Harper. There's a look at Drummond and the other top freshman entering this season. Drummond, number 2 in the ESPNU Top 100 entering this season. He led St. Thomas More School here in Connecticut to a National Prep School championship. A late signee for UConn from Middletown, Connecticut. Just about a 20-minute ride from Hartford. Napier so far has played all 38 minutes. Lamb has played 37 minutes.
I think with the ankle, once you loosen that thing up, you want to stay with it. Yeah.
Shot clock inside 10. Napier in traffic. Did a nice job to draw the foul. It'll be on Harper. Second on Harper. Niels Giffey will replace Lamb, who will get a good ovation as he departs. Tell you one thing. Lamb not only impressed his coach with the way he played today, but with the fact that he did play. Because again,
exactly.
we were here for the UConn. When UConn plays, when you play a 1 o'clock game, you really don't have the normal extended pregame shoot-around that you would have like maybe 4 or 6 hours before tip, followed by a pregame meal. It's just too early in the day to do that. So they just gather in the arena earlier than they normally would, and they have some shoot-around. And Lamb literally did nothing during the shoot-around, stood around and watched. So we didn't think he was going to play.
Then he started doing some drills with the trainer to see if he could loosen it up a bit, and he was moving around pretty gingerly on the ankle, but it loosened up, and goes out and drops 25 on Coppin State here this afternoon.
Olander just got his 10th rebound, so he's had back-to-back double-doubles. 11 points and 10 rebounds.
Napier again is adding to the day.
22 points for Napier. That's a new season high. He had 21 against both Columbia and Wagner. Another foul on Antonio Williams. Napier's been a one-man highlight reel today, hasn't he?
He has. He's an exciting player, Bob. I mean, he's a, oh, look at that fake with the little, gonna go to the right with it, reels it back in.
Yeah. Well, the no-look pass with the left hand early in the game kind of helped set that up. If you're the defender, you're thinking, oh, he's going to dish it off. He's going to dish it off. He didn't dish it off.
Very clever with the ball, and I think he penetrates down the lane. I think he's thinking pass first, but if the defense gives him that kind of a pass, he'll take it right to the goal.
Giffey has missed all 3 free throw attempts today. Gallo with the miss. Here's a rebound. Daniels has Smith left, Giffey in the middle, and instead it's poked away from behind. Gallo catch and shoot. Rebound batted around. Ellis comes away with it, and we'll get a reach-in foul on UConn. Coppin State this year is playing 4 games against teams in the 6 power conferences. They played Oklahoma for the Big 12 on Friday. They're playing UConn today. They'll play Purdue for the Big 10 next Saturday, and they'll also play Illinois of the Big 10. The MEAC opener for Coach Fang Mitchell's team will be on January 4th at Howard University. Inbound pass stolen by Napier, and there's Giffey.
Another assist.
Thirteen assists for Napier, and Gallo will draw the foul. And we'll get our first look at Enish Wolf, 7-foot sophomore from Germany for the Huskies. Gallo at the free throw line. A year ago, Coppin State finished 11-5 in the MEAC, tied for second, then lost to the 6th seed Norfolk State in the quarterfinals of the MEAC tournament. And here's the hand for Shabazz Napier. Kemba Walker among those on their feet. All Napier did was score 19 points, pulled down a career high 12 rebounds, and pulled down a career high, or had a career high 13 assists. Played 39 minutes.
Plus he stole a few balls too. He just did everything. What a day.
Number 4, Brendan Allen checks into the game. Dumped down to Roscoe Smith. Deflected out of bounds with 30 seconds left, so the shot clock is off. So UConn will extend its winning streak at home against non-conference opponents to 37 games. Last home loss to a non-conference team, January 20th, 2007 to Indiana. And it's off to the Bahamas for the Huskies over Thanksgiving weekend. 5-second call. No, timeout. Coppin State to avoid the 5-second call. Fang Mitchell calling for the time. So the UConn guards who really controlled their first 2 wins, Ron, and then sort of yielded to the big men in Game 3 against Maine, retook control today, and both were spectacular.
Really were. thought that Shabazz Napier was going to have to step up his game. We didn't know if Lamb would play. Well, Lamb did play with the sore ankle, 25 big ones, but Napier really ran the show in all phases for the Huskies today.
Here's Allen following the Gallo basket. So Gallo wound up with 20 points. A very strong second half for Gallo, but not enough to offset the defending national champions, who are now off to a 4-0 start, and they extend the longest current winning streak in the country to 15 games. Career win number 859 for Hall of Famer Jim Calhoun. 611 of them here at UConn. So a slow start, Ron, but the defensive intensity picked up in the final 9 minutes of the first half and really set the tone for the rest of the game. That was the key. Coppin State came out, shot the ball well, surged into the lead early, but Connecticut really turned it up on defense, got on a great run, and they were led all afternoon by Shabazz Napier, just outstanding. And Jeremy Lamb also just shot the ball so well. So a solid effort by Connecticut. Coppin State was game today, but too much UConn in this one. UConn begins the season with 4 games in 10 days and 4 wins. We'll wrap things up after this. Back here in Hartford, where UConn beats Coppin State 87-70. So, Ron, what would your early season grade be for the defending national champions 4 games in? I think they look great so far. I mean, they've played very well. I'd give the backcourt an A so far. They're doing a great job with Lamb and Napier. Napier, we thought, was just outstanding today with Lamb. I think the inside play is still a work in progress, and I think that'll come along and spell the key for UConn's success this year. So UConn wins at 87-70, first career triple-double for Shabazz Napier, and a second straight double-double for Tyler Olander. Once again, the final, UConn 87, Coppin State 70. For more information on the Big East Network, log on to ESPN+com. The preseason and exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate